That's right, Rochelle. I'm here in the San Joaquin Valley, often known as the fresh fruit capital of the United States. This region has everything from oranges, which I'm in an orange grove here, peaches, plums, grapes, and nuts. They ship it to tables here and around the world. A big part and an increasing part is China. Now, the citrus industry alone accounts for more than 21,000 jobs in the state of California, and the industry recently there was a study that came out that said it accounts for $7.117 billion in total economic impact to the state of California. I am now here joined by Joel Nelsen, who is the president of California Citrus Mutual, a trade association that represents the 3,000 to 4,000 citrus growers here in California. Joel, thanks for joining us. I see that you have an orange in your hand.
Always.
You've guaranteed me that this is the top in the world. Is that right?
There's no question about it. We have some of the finest fruit, whether it's oranges, mandarins, or lemons, than any production area around the world.
Better than Florida oranges.
Much better than Florida oranges, and we tease our colleagues about that as well. Most of their fruit goes into juice. All of ours goes into fresh.
Now, over the years, you really have increased your market share in China before these tariffs happened. Tell us the progress that you've been making.
The situation in China has always been a wonderful experience for our industry, and it's been a growing market. It's expanded in terms of purchases for oranges and lemons. With the introduction of the tariffs and then subsequent harassment upon arrival for inspection purposes, our business is off 40 to 50%.
And you said one of the big problems you mentioned there is actually getting there. It stays there and it's taking a longer time. What's happening and how's that affecting your product?
We have an agreement with the Chinese government relative to inspecting the fruit. They don't want any more bugs and diseases any more than we do. So they spot check the fruit. There's a number of cartons they can look at. But suddenly, since the tariffs have been imposed, since this debate has occurred in the trade arena, every carton of fruit is subject to an inspection. A lot of fruit is being handled. As it gets handled, it gets damaged, and it sits on the dock longer than what we believe to be necessary.
Are you able to divert those shipments to other countries?
Sometimes, but not all the time. Most of the time, the customer base will move it into the channels of distribution, but it's older fruit, and that's not good for the consumer.
And one of the difficulties there is that as these trade tensions occur, politics takes place, other countries don't have those same requirements now. Are you fearing that other countries could take the place of your business?
Most definitely. We believe Australia, Egypt, South Africa see an opportunity. And if they can come in with one, less expensive fruit because of the tariff, two, fresher fruit because it doesn't stay on the dock as longer, that the the Chinese customer base will start buying more of that fruit and less of ours. And frankly, our industry and our customers are getting nervous about this trade debate, so the lack of consistency in moving fruit is difficult.
We've seen some mixed signals, though, happening as of late, and over the weekend, the administration had mentioned that the trade war was somewhat on hold. Are you seeing that at the moment? Is it on hold?
Not really. We're seeing a reduction in tonnage of about 50% over the past 2 or 3 weeks. Normally, we'd be shipping about 20, 25 loads of Valencia oranges, several loads of lemons. It's cut in half because we're just unsure of the situation. The tariff does affect price. It affects price for everybody in the distribution chain. But holding the fruit and losing your freshness, that's the biggest problem for all of us to think about.
That's right. You've got a perishable product. So tell me right now, in the season, how is it impacting it? Because, like these trees, for example, have been picked. What percentage is still on the trees? And you're thinking about, what market? Is it going to go to China, or do you have to plan? Is it going to go somewhere else? How much is still on the tree?
Of our Valencia oranges, there's probably 80% of the tonnage is still on the tree. For the lemons, it's probably about 80% of the lemons on the tree. So our organization is working with the administration to try to reconcile the differences as rapidly as possible. Unfortunately, there's other business sectors involved in this, so that what the industry does, it evaluates how quickly they can move fruit into China, and if they can't, then they move it to other ports of call.
And President Trump recently tweeted that under our potential deal with China, they will purchase from our great American farmers practically as much as our farmers can produce. Do we have any idea what that means?
No, I don't have any idea what that means. I would hope that it would yield some benefit to the citrus industry because we're suffering economically. The Chinese consumer is suffering, the Chinese distribution base is suffering, our growers are suffering. Our fruit is moving into other channels. That deprives the Chinese consumer of a wonderful piece of fruit, and it deprives us of what has been an excellent market up to now.
You've traveled to DC several times to sort of gauge the temperature of what's happening. Do you feel confident that this will be resolved shortly, or what's the time frame that you think this will be resolved?
I think it's going to take time to resolve it because the other business sectors have got some real challenges. Now, I know that this administration has placed citrus as a major priority. I have witnessed that list. I've had some significant conversations. But until the other challenges get resolved, this problem's not going to go away.
Thank you, Joel Nelsen of California Citrus Mutual, who represents 3,000 to 4,000 growers, basically expressing the sentiment that the farmers are still here in limbo, so not sure what's going to happen next, but hoping for the best.